Hey, it's James from Finney Electrical. On today's episode, we've got a few things in store. So we're finishing off our first fix and we've got a bit of heating fault finding. So let's get into this. Right, so into the job now then. This is a job that Hayden's been doing. So, it's a bit, yeah, floors are up, everything's still getting built. Kitchen to go back in here is the job that I'm on. So, yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. So it's been a bit of an awkward one with the customer living here. So we've got quite a lot of big bulky furniture, so it's been quite difficult to move stuff about and get stuff where we need to. But Hayden's done a great job. She's got all these ready for some nice lights to swap over, because we've got like a VR gaming thing, so put these little sockets up at the corners so you can fight zombies and whatever. So that's pretty cool. What else have we got in here then? A couple of sockets, TV here, so it's gonna be aerial, and then we've run loads of datas to like behind the TVs and stuff like that, so they'll be able to network throughout the house. So with something like that, you can put something called a NAS drive, and then you can log in and watch movies off like a central hub, which is going to be under the stairs. So I'm just doing the final touches then. So we've been off this for a few weeks now, and they've finally built this stud wall. So what we've got to do then, this is going to be a heating thermostat for the underfloor heating. So it's a 5-core we've run here. So what I have to do is at 1200, I'm going to put a box into here, mount a little noggin, get him chopped down, get a box hanging out about 10mm, so the plaster can just bang it and cut it out. And then there's a socket going here. And then this whole kitchen, what they're going to do is just put the kitchen back in. That's just here at the moment. So what we're going to have to do then, all that's getting shifted to that bit of the extension. So there's a few downlights to go in, sockets, Hayden's put 2 in already. But we're going to move them because the flooring has changed height, so the wrong height. So we've got a socket to go in here. There's like a dishwasher, washing machine. Extractor's obviously moving 130 that way because that's 130 extension going that way, so that's where it's landing. So there's a 1mm for there to be pulled out in a cupboard for the extractor. And then we've got a socket here. So that's about it. So I'm just going to get those cables in and then have a look around and make sure everything's ready for plastering. So yeah, beautiful day today. Nice, I don't know what season we're in, but it's nice and leafy. Yeah, it's a bit chilly mornings, nice and dark, there's blue skies and it heats up by lunchtime. So what we're going to do then, I'm going to chop that noggin in, so I'm just going to get my multi-tool out. Just unlock this drawer, get in here, there we go then. Right, so we're going to get that multi-tool out, put a little noggin in, get that switch in. For those who haven't seen the van tour videos then, so we did a full video on this of building it. So it's like a metal framed setup. You've got like a big slider drawer to this side, and you've got 2 big locks here which slide out, stop people breaking in, and then you've got loads of room for cables and stuff like that. So we use it for like camping when it's a bit warmer. So you can get a nice mattress in here and get 2 of you in, heated a blanket, jobs are good. And so Milwaukee well, not Milwaukee, but you can get a Milwaukee battery and plug it into an inverter and plug in like a 150 watt blanket, so it's lovely and toasty after, I don't know, you're hiking the Lake District or whatever. And I'm just going to use this piece of wood then to bob in here so we can actually fix this toe so it goes exactly where we want it. And Mr. Plasterer doesn't hide it. So what we're going to do, that's 1200 there. So if you look there, I've done a little mark where that wood's going to stop. So if that stops there, that's going to be sticking out too much. It must be sticking out about 5mm. And then when you get your 12mm boards on, it'll sit nicely behind. But the plaster's got enough there where they can bang it and then cut it out. So what we're going to do is take off that distance then. So that's there. So if we take off what, about 10mm off here, and then measure across, let's have a look. That is, there we go, 10. So if we go 10mm, and then we take about 10mm chunk out the back, it should fit exactly where we want it. Take 2. Take 3. That'll do. That should fit nicely in here. When you get your box in, I'm going to fix it obviously. Look at that. Needs to be knocked back a little bit, but there we go. 5mm. Happy days. On to the next job then. So we've got a little extractor cable to bring in, that 1mm. So what we'll do is take advantage of this already half of it's already chopped out. So I'll just take these lumps out and then we can clip direct to this. That tracer's in ready then for the extractor then, so that's going to go in the back of this cupboard, which I'll also do this fridge. So what we're going to do now is get the laser set up then. Let's do this. Da-na-na, 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 da-na-na. What we're going to do is just have these extra sockets in, and then we're going to move them sockets down to this line because the floor's changed height. So we'll get the sockets chopped in where they want them. So there's not one there, there's one here. So we'll get this chopped in here then. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 to do, and we're going to bring up part of the leg up into this. So apparently they might want a high one. So I don't know how they've done that, but we'll leave the leg long enough to come through if need be. But worst case, we'll just chop a hole out and pull it through where we want it. Alright, got that chopped out, that's nicely levelled. Got these little penny washers, I've run out of them. So we've got these tiddy woods, which should do the job. So they're in, so we can wire around and up. Same again there, that's it. So just got to lower these to the right floor height. And that should be it then. So we've just got to then wire, have to extend from the ring here up and out, round all the sockets, and get cables to where we need to be. So like we said, there's a appliance there, so there'll be a leg out here which will power up then to fridge. So we need to bring a leg out here, and the extractor 1mm is going to pop out here. Oh, the customer's just nipped out. Left dog here. Make sure it's out at dog. Hello. What you doing? Sorry, I'll be back. Yeah, because Aiden's a legend then, he's left loads of length on these cables then. So it was a big coil here, so that's long enough to go to the end point, and then it's capped off, that's one end of the ring. So we're going to send the cable from there to one socket, around to that socket. Oh, we've got to pick up that though on the stud. Around, pick up that one, and then come back. And then that will go into this one, where there's going to be some sockets in here for the dishwasher and the washing machine. Alright, that's everything wired in now then, so I'm just going to bob over to the next job. So yeah, we'll try and get a video on this once it's all complete and it looks nice. It's the next one, fault finding on heating. So this guy's got some storage heaters, they're not working, so I'll show you how to fix them. Oh, so yeah, let me know in the comments below then what you thought of that little kitchen then. So we wired up the ring then, so a socket circuit's wired from the fuse board all the way around and back. I heard and left 2 little legs out, so it went to a socket corner down to the floor, socket the corner down to the floor. So what we had to do was just link that back up, and it was a ring. So what we did was extend to the new points all the way around, and then just finished at them 2 points, and then that created the ring. Right then. Oh. So before we go to his little, what is it, heating job? To be fair, it's at back end of the day. It's only like, what are we on? 1:15. Time for a bit of munch. Look at this. Alice has made a beautiful pasta, chicken pasta. Pulled all the stops out. Garlic honey chicken. With bacon. Can't beat it. I've got to give her a 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Right, we're back on it. It's a bit doom and gloom now. Flipping out, look at it. It's all, but yeah, this is where we're working. So a nice fancy house here. We're working at this nice fancy house there. So that's just Bob you here. We've got a nice little country lane to drive down. Oh. So apparently he lives just around here. So I'm just going off by his directions, but it's a lovely house really. So my mate Carl knows this fella. He ain't got time to have a look really. Apparently there's some lights down. He wants me to have a look at that. So I've just nipped in before we go to that heating job later, but it's lovely really. It's like yeah, it's well kept. He's got like gardens and all sorts. Yeah, interesting guy really. So he's made his money in the building trade, he was saying. Yeah, nice guy. But yeah, he's obviously got all these lights and he wants them all working before December. He's got some like Christmas lights and that ping on. So like at my house I've got some lovely little lights that ping on. I'll have to show you an update on the house in the next coming videos. But yeah, so it's a bit of a nightmare. He's got a good 100 metre perimeter around with lights doing all sorts. There's a fault somewhere. There was like a little summer house thing, also known as a folly, because apparently the sun doesn't shine in, so he's called it a folly. But yeah, so basically what they've done is run one cable. One of the cores does sockets and then uses one of the same neutral back, and the lights go down the same cable and use that neutral, so it's like a shared neutral, which you're not really supposed to do. So what we're going to do is do like a couple of hours fault finding here, just to get that fixed and see what's good and what's bad, so we know when we bring a cable to it, it's going to work fine. But yeah, I think what we're going to end up doing is running a 6mm from his garage to the folly, put a little fuse board in there, do the couple of sockets in there, and then branch out from there, like another 50 metre run in whatever cable size it needs to be. It'll probably be like a 2.5 or a 4mm depending on the calculations. But yeah, it's going to be up and running. I'll be happy that it's all up and running for Christmas. Next job then, heat fault finding. So this is the storage heater, what we're going to look at then. So he's saying it's not been coming on. Obviously the fan heater comes on the on peak, but there's like an off peak which works during like 12 and 5 in the morning. So what you do then to get these off, then you got to pop these buttons off with a screwdriver, and these just pop off. And then there's just 3 screws on top and 3 at the bottom, and then this whole unit should lift off. There we go. So what I'm going to do is get access to these elements. There should be about 3 elements along here, and we'll test them out, see if they're working. Right, so the way these work then, you've got like loads of bricks here, which encase like a big element like this. So it's like a big metal, well, if you look down there you can see. Right. So you've got 2 little connections there, and they'll spread out like this, all the way around and back down. So you'll have 3 elements here, or 4, let's have a look. We've got 1, 2, 3, so there's 4. So there's bricks on this side and bricks on the other side, and then obviously just stores that overnight and dissipates throughout the day then. So what I need to do is just check, the resistance of these. So what I've done here is just check that this is all working. So that's a little fuse for the control circuit of that, and it's fine. So anyway, the power comes in then, this is flat 7, so it goes live, neutral, neutral, live, and then it goes off to the flat, but then it goes via this little, what do you call it? I don't know what I'm saying. It goes via this contactor, so essentially this kicks in between the right time. So I think it's between 12 and 7. That's why it's a common is 7, so you get 7 hours at economy. There we go. Right, so we're going to pop this trunking back, but I just wanted to check that before we carry on. So apparently it's not been coming on. Now on the fuse board, I'll show you, there's like a little override switch. So it's got like a middle position, which will just be when it receives a line, a 230 volt on A1, it'll just conjunct this contactor, and whatever is in the bottom and whatever is in the top, it just touches them together, and then obviously kicks in that circuit. In this case it's heaters, so you can do it for like lighting and all sorts. But yeah, we're going to get all this trunking back on, and I'll show you that shortly. Yeah, the heaters are working, so I've just tested them all out. So it must be on the control side which is not working, or they've just not had them switched on when yeah, because there's like an on-peak switch and an off-peak switch. They might have got confused and had the wrong one turned off. So we'll make sure they're on when we leave, and we'll just check the control now. Now look at this door, it's silly. So, oh look, a keypad, I can't get back in. But they always do this, you can get a little drive in there like that. So can you in? Give me a screwdriver for that. There we go. Magic. There's no damage to the door. Yeah. Then we're going to use the fuse board then. So what we've got is a few, like 3 circuits that run through these contactors. So where these work then, so the 2 terminals at the back you can see there. So live and neutral at the back, live and neutral coming out the top. And what happens is, currently, because these breakers are on, live and neutral's just sat there ready to go. And the cables coming out to the heaters are the ones in the top. So they're not touching, so they're not on. But when you receive a signal, or if you got 0 volts here, neutral, and you've got this A1 gets 230 volts, it'll go ka-chunk and make that come in together. So that's what's potentially not working. So there'll be a timer somewhere that does that. But obviously we've just seen the off-peak switch, which should bring that in. But yeah, so what we're gonna do, we will just turn that on up so that you can override these essentially. So you've got a middle position. You can turn it off so it won't be kicking in, or you can put it on. So just going to turn these on, make sure the heaters are actually working and heating up and not tripping. So if all the heaters are working, then yeah, we're just going to sort out the control side of it, and then this customer will be nice and toasty and warm. Right then, so the thermostat's knackered on one of them then. So obviously the elements are fine, but the actual control, so basically the temperature setting, so you can put it on low or high, is just knackered. And they've got kids and they need it warm. So what we'll have to do is just bypass that for now. So essentially the elements will just be on full whack, heating up for those 5 hours. And then what we'll do is just suggest to the landlords to get those replaced. So yeah, we're just going to connect that through. What else? It could be that, to be fair. I need to check the other 2 now. But he was complaining that the lounge room wasn't working. That's why. So there's like a thermostat that kicks it in and out, depending on what setting you put it on. But when you put it on 6, it just stays full blast anyway. So there's no difference between number 6 and connecting through straight to the element. So obviously it's just a temporary fix. So we've just moved these onto the on mode and just checked the heaters, make sure they come on. So there was an issue with one of the thermostats, like we said, we just had to bypass that temporarily. So the other heaters, everything seems to be working. So if these aren't kicking in during the night, and that timer function downstairs is not working, what we can do then, just live and neutral come in, we'll disconnect them out, we'll put a little timer circuit in, and then all we will do is essentially take a neutral off, take a line off one of the MCBs, and make that do the controls, run that via a time clock, and then set your time clock 12 or 7 o'clock, or whenever he gets his cheap tariff, and then that will kick in and out these heaters. So that's another way around it without having to mess about. So that'll get it in a winner. All sorted then. So nice easy one really. Hey, so heating, yeah. So there's if it's heating via contactors, you've got to find out what's contacted in. So it's either like a timer or something like that switch that you saw earlier. So you get that. It's quite common that for the off-peak for these days. Back in the day, you used to have a separate meter, and that was the off-peak meter, and you'd have a separate cable coming out into a fuse board with with breakers coming off that one, and its own little neutral bar and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a lot simpler setup that. But it's a shame it wasn't working, but yeah, we're nice and toasted tonight, hopefully. Right, so hopefully you enjoyed today then. So we've had the kitchen rewire, whatever you want to call it. Just finishing off that, ready for the plasterers. And then what? Then went over to that big house, massive house thing, with all these fancy hedges. So we got that to quote, and it was just a quote that, we never got to quotes, but yeah, it needed some extra ness, should we say. But yeah, we're going to book in for a fault finding on that, and then there'll be some remedial works depending on what we find. And then last year, heating. So there's loads of different heating systems with the off-peak and different ways of controlling it, but this is nice and easy. So if that time box isn't timing in properly and kicking in, which I think it will, but if it doesn't, then all we have to do is put like a little timer and set it 12 or 7. Jobs are good, and so they'll be able to control that from the flat as well. So nice and easy then. So right then, we'll leave it to it then. So if you enjoy this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification, you know when we next upload. Excited, what news then, what have we got? So coffee's a go. So we've got 3 companies, we're just trying to see who can do the best coffee deal, and there might be coffee with mugs. There could be, yeah. Imagine my face on there, you know. I don't know. We'll see what comes up. But yeah, that's the news. Shout outs. What have we got? We've got the veterans. What have we got? Karen. We've got PK Ricky. We've got Richard Royale, the legend that is. We've got Ted Sims. Who else comes on? Mandy Finney, the old mother. She loves watching my videos. I'm gonna leave someone out, and I feel really bad. Who else? Who normally comes on? We see an MJR. We see Alicia. We see Alicia come on. I don't want to miss anyone out, and this is really bad, isn't it? Oh, please forgive me. Yeah, have a good week. I hope you're saying goodbye to everyone, because this is the ending. And I'm gonna say, have a good week. Go smash it, and flipping, yeah, that's what we like. We want everyone to do well in life and just go for it. Right then, peace.